Bruce Lee was not only a star, but also a philosopher, martial artist and iconic icon. His energy has mesmerized and inspired millions of viewers around the world. Bruce Lee's daughter, Shannon, chose her father's sayings to help her stay on track and overcome difficulties. They can help you too. First, strengthen your fortitude. Try to notice in what areas of life you are experiencing difficulties, write down your observations, but do not judge yourself. Move forward and rejoice at every victory. The medicine for my suffering was within me from the very beginning, but I did not take it. My illness came from myself. Until now, I have not seen this. Now I understand that I cannot find light until, like a candle, I become its own fuel. Second, be water. This is the most famous quote from Bruce Lee. The very idea of assimilating water goes back to Taoism, an ancient Chinese philosophical teaching. If you are like water, you can take any form and easily bypass all obstacles. The next time you come across undeserved criticism or some kind of obstacle, try not to resort to aggression. Imagine that you are flowing around the whole problem, like a stream of water flows around a stone. Empty your mind, become amorphous and formless like water. When water is poured into a cup, it becomes a cup. Water can flow, or it can crush. Be water, my friend. Bruce Lee. Third, never despair. The years between the Green Hornet films and the Hong Kong films were pretty rough for Bruce Lee. In Hollywood, he wasn't offered the roles he deserved. In addition, at this time he seriously injured his back. The doctors said he would no longer be able to practice martial arts and might not even be able to walk normally. But he did not give up and devoted all his energy to recovering from the injury. On the back of his business cards, he began to write a phrase, "Move on," to remind himself to always think positively and move forward. Do you have any phrase that helps you in difficult times? Write in the comments. If not, try to find or come up with some motivating statements that will give you the strength to move on. Fourth, define your main goal. In 1969, Bruce Lee wrote down his main goal to remind himself which direction he wants to go. He named it, "My very definite main goal. I am Bruce Lee. I will be the first high-paid star of the East in America. I will achieve world fame and will have a capital of $10 million. I can live the way I want, achieving inner harmony and happiness." Write down your own main goal. Do not be afraid to dream and remember that the goal is just the direction in which you want to move. This is what inspires you. Fifth, create your own path. In 1964, followers of the traditional kung fu style in San Francisco challenged Bruce Lee to a duel. They were unhappy with the way he was teaching this martial art. In the event of a loss, Bruce Lee had to close his workshop in Oakland. Lee agreed and defeated his opponent in 3 minutes. Although he managed to keep his workshop, he was dissatisfied with himself. He planned to defeat the enemy in just 1 minute. But he moved around the room during the fight, so Lee had to constantly chase him. The classic kung fu form he was trained in, Wing Chun, did not prepare him for real combat, so Lee began to develop his own style of Jeet Kune Do, ditching some of the elements of classic kung fu and developing techniques that best fit his body. Adapt what is useful and reject what is useless, and finally add what is yours. Here is his key. If you are following the same pattern, consider you can whether to somehow improve it. It is not necessary to follow a general path. You can create your own path, ideally suited to you. 6. Develop. Bruce Lee also developed 4 stages of self-education. In completeness, the divided yin-yang symbol symbolizes a person who rushes to extremes and cannot achieve harmony with himself. Fluidity, a combined yin-yang symbol that symbolizes the achievement of harmony between masculine and feminine. Emptiness, formless form. At this stage the mind is freed from all unnecessary, we are in the present moment. The symbol of Jeet Kune Do, the ideal of a self-releasing person. The inscription in Chinese sounds something like this: not using the path, like let, and the absence of restrictions, like restriction. Look at these 4 stages and determine where you are now. Keep a record of how you would like to develop. 7th, treat others with respect. Bruce Lee taught martial arts to everyone, regardless of race or origin. He believed that all people are one big family. And although he himself was discriminated against in Hollywood, he did not get bitter. He even more persistently wrote and directed his own scripts. His charisma and talent attracted people to him, and his philosophy still inspires. He said that under this sky we are all one family. Think of a person or people you are prejudiced against, try to find something in common. It is possible that you love the same movie, dish, or something. Try to see that this is a person like you. We all have much more in common than we think. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Also watch other interesting videos.